There has been a marriage announcement at Collinwood, and now, in the untroubled light of day, there is an air of contentment in the great house. But a certain reaction to the marriage announcement has caused one man to believe he knows and can reveal the nature and the source of the evil we have experienced here at Collinwood.
Hello, this is Burke Devlin. Let me talk to Mr. Blair, please. Blair? Any word from London yet? Well, who'd you talk to? I see. No, we don't have to meet on this. Just give me the notes you took. But tell me something first. Is the guy you spoke to the last word on birth records in London? You're positive he keeps all the official records? Okay. Now, what about the name Niall Bradford? 130 years ago. And there's been no one by that name living in London since then? Blair, you're absolutely sure about this. You got this straight. I can't afford to make a mistake here. Okay. Okay, thanks. Yeah, I'll be in touch.
Sorry to have kept you waiting, Bert.
It's all right.
Is that bad news of some kind?
No, in a way it was good news.
You don't look very happy about it.
Well, on the contrary, I'm just mystified. It isn't every day I find a 130-year-old skeleton in somebody's closet.
I hope you haven't come here to talk to me about a skeleton in somebody's closet.
No, I came here to talk to you about Maggie Evans.
Well, what about it?
Well, I'd like to review her whole case with you from the beginning.
Why?
Well, I have my reasons. I'd rather not go into them now. Do you mind?
No, I don't mind. It's just that I'm pretty busy with patients this afternoon, Bert.
I understand. I don't want to upset your schedule. Look, would you have any objections to my going through Maggie's files?
Oh, no, Burke, I can't let you do that. I mean, patients' files are confidential. Strictly. Look, I'll be glad to help you in any way I can if you just tell me what all this is about.
Well, it's just a hunch I have, Dave, a way-out hunch. I'm not sure I could explain it to you even if I tried. So I better not try until I have more to go on.
Do you mean that you have a lead on who the kidnapper is?
I don't know. I'd like you to tell me a little more about Maggie's neck wound, if you can.
Burke, listen, you know as much about that as I do.
Have you ever come to any conclusions as to what caused the wound?
Well, the blood sample we took never got analyzed because, as you know, it was stolen.
And it was never recovered.
That's right. Now, my medical opinion at the time was that the wounds on Maggie's neck were inflicted by the bite of some kind of animal.
And you've had no reason to alter your opinion?
No, none at all.
Now, you've also gone on the assumption that Maggie was kidnapped. Now, that couldn't have been done by an animal. I mean, the abductor had to be a human being, right?
Well, of course.
Well, then the all-important question is, are the two things, the abduction and the neck wound, directly related to one another?
Well, it would seem to me that they'd have to be.
Well, why? Isn't it possible that Maggie escaped from her abductor and then was attacked by a wild animal?
Look, Burke, I'm perfectly prepared to accept anything as a possibility, but we're still faced with the fact that the wounds on Maggie's neck were, well, they were not the bite of any animal indigenous to this area.
You're absolutely sure about that?
100%. Burke, listen. If you have reason to suspect anybody, you're obligated to go with that reason to the sheriff.
I didn't say I suspected anybody.
Well, you obviously are onto something that none of the rest of us are aware of.
No. No, I'm afraid I'm not.
Well, then why this sudden interest in reviewing Maggie's whole case?
I told you, Dave, it's just a hunch, that's all.
Look, I don't care what you want to call it. I don't think you have any choice. You have got to go with this idea or hunch or whatever you want to call it to the sheriff.
When and if the right time comes, I will. Don't worry.
I will worry, because the maniac that we're after is still on the loose somewhere. Now, who his next victim will be is anybody's guess. Burke, whether your hunch is far-fetched or not, don't waste time before you take it to the right person.
I intend to follow this through until I get results, or until I've decided that I'm way off base.
Still don't understand why you won't at least talk to me about it now.
Dave, you just referred to the kidnapper as that wild maniac we're after.
Yeah?
Now, I think it's possible that everyone is coming to the wrong conclusions in this case.
What do you mean?
Well, the image everyone has is of some wild, mentally deranged, horrible monster who's roaming around the community. Suppose that image is wrong, which I think it is. Suppose the man we're looking for is an outwardly calm, sane, respected member of the community.
Like who?
Like yourself, Dave. Or like me. Or like 100 other people we know. Someone we see and speak to every day. Someone we'd never suspect of kidnapping an innocent girl.
I guess your hunch is pretty far-fetched.
I'm not saying I'm right, Dave. I'm only saying the possibility can't be overlooked.
Hey, how about a game of cards?
Please, Joe, not
Come
now.
on, to help pass the time away.
I said not now.
Hey, what's the matter?
What's the matter? I'm getting tired of all the high living and excitement around here.
All right, Maggie, now take it easy.
Take it easy. Well, that's a great piece of advice. I've done little else for the whole week but take it easy. Pass the time of day, and then I pass the time of night. And then what? It's time to pass the time of day again. I'm getting sick of it.
Look, I know how boring all of this must be for you, but you gotta understand that
You and Pop are the ones that have got to understand that I've got to start living a normal, active life again. Can't sit around and vegetate the rest of my life.
Nobody expects you to.
I feel like a prisoner. Never thought I'd feel that way in my own house.
Maggie, you're not a prisoner, and there's no reason for you to feel that way.
Well, why not? I'm not allowed out of the house, and you and Pop never let me out of your sight.
Because we don't want to lose you again.
You're not going to lose me. Nothing's happened yet, has it?
No, but that doesn't mean that the danger has gone away. You still have to be protected, Maggie.
From what? I wish somebody could tell me that.
Well, if we knew the answer to that, there wouldn't be any problem, would there?
Well, all right then. Why don't we try and figure it out? I'll do anything just to get out of this as soon as possible.
Maggie, we've been over it 1,000 times, and all we keep doing is reaching dead ends. All we know is that you were kidnapped, you were missing for 2 weeks, and that you were finally found wandering along the beach near Widow's Hill.
Why don't we start there?
It's no use, Maggie. As long as your memory of what happened is blocked, all we can do is wait until the sheriff solves the case, and in the meantime, keep you very well protected.
Well, if anything more were going to happen to me, it would happen to me at night, wouldn't it, like the other time?
Well, that'd be the most likely time, yeah.
It would be the only time. Now, I can't believe that if I went back to the Cullensport Inn to get my job back, that anything would happen.
You can't think about getting your job back yet. We just can't take that chance.
But we wouldn't be taking a chance.
Now, I can arrange to get on the day shift. No one is going to attack and abduct me in broad daylight in the middle of Collinsport.
Both of your doctors say that you're still too weak to go back to work.
Then both doctors are wrong. Physically, I've never felt better in my whole life.
All right, but nevertheless, I still think that we should follow their orders.
Joe, I'm going to go crazy if I stay here any longer.
I'm sorry, Maggie, but you just got to be patient and trust us to know what we're doing. Right now, that's the only way.
All right, Joe. I'll be patient. For a little while, anyway.
Atta girl.
Well, we might as well be really racy and have another card game.
All right, but I'm feeling lucky.
Say, Joe, how did Dr. Hoffman get involved in this case anyway?
Well, Dr. Woodard thought she'd be the best person to treat you. That was at the time when your memory was gone completely.
But do you really think that her treatment has helped bring my memory back to where it is?
Well, according to her and Woodard, it's been very effective. Yeah, why?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just wondering about her, that's all. She seems like such a strange person. You know, it may seem silly, but I feel a kind of coldness whenever she comes near me. It's probably just my imagination. What's the name of the game?
I'll get it. Oh, Bert, come on in.
Hi, Joe. I hope I'm not dropping by at a bad time.
No, not at all. Good to see you.
Hi, Bert.
Hi, Maggie. I'd like to talk to you for a few minutes if you feel up to it.
Oh, I'd be delighted. You may not know it, but you represent a welcome change of pace. No offense, sweetheart.
She's getting a little bored with her protectors.
What did you want to talk to me about?
Well, I was wondering if your memory had gotten any better since the night that we took you to Dr. Woodard's office.
Hey, Bert.
Well, look, I just talked to Dr. Woodard, and he doesn't mind my questioning Maggie as long as I don't take too long.
Well, I'm afraid the whole thing is academic anyway. I don't remember any more now than I did that night in Woodard's office.
Well, I think the curious thing is that you remember less now than you did then.
What are you talking about?
Well, Dr. Woodard said that the night we took you there, he questioned you privately. And you came very close to identifying the person who kidnapped you.
I did.
You don't remember that, huh?
No, of course not. I didn't understand it.
Well, neither does Dr. Woodard. He says that night he was convinced the whole case would be blown wide open. And then suddenly you retrogressed to the point where you lost your memory completely.
Well, did Dr. Woodard say what I told him that night?
Yes. Yes, he did, and I'd like to repeat some of it to you now, if you don't mind.
Of course not. Maybe it'll help bring my memory back.
Well, that's what I was hoping. He said that you remembered being in a house, locked in a special room. There was someone else in that house. Someone who wanted you to die.
Wanted me to die?
You said that someone came into the room. It was a man.
Man.
You remembered he came closer to you and closer to you.
I don't remember a man.
And then his face came into the light, and you saw it. You knew who it was. You knew that face.
Bert, what happened then?
Well, then Dr. Woodard said that another doctor came into the room, and the interruption broke Maggie's train of thought.
Remember anything? I don't know why none of it came back.
And nothing's happened in the past week that's jarred your memory in any way?
Not a thing.
Actually, nothing's happened at all. Aside from a few friends, Maggie's been kept very quiet.
Well, what friends has she had in?
Well, just Vicki Winters and a couple of people from town.
Barnabas Collins dropped by.
Barnabas Collins?
Yes, he said he was just passing by and he decided to drop in and pay his respects.
I see. Well, I guess I'm no further along than I was before.
Further along with what?
Oh, just a hunch I had, nothing concrete.
Bert, there was one thing.
What?
Well, it's not something that I remember exactly.
Well, what is it?
I just remember something that keeps going through the back of my mind. I don't even know what it means. It's just something that I keep hearing in my mind.
Keep hearing?
It's music.
What kind of music?
I can't identify it. But it's like a light, playful tune, a soft tinkling sound.
And you have no idea what it means?
No.
Well, I don't see how the sound of soft music could have anything to do with the kind of terrifying experience Maggie's been through.
Maybe it doesn't have any connection. Maybe it's just something I remember from my childhood.
Maybe. Maybe not. At this point, I don't think we should discount even the smallest evidence. Your chauffeur has arrived and is at your service.
And he's also late. This is the second time in a row, Burke Devlin. It better not turn into a habit.
I promise it won't. I've been doing a lot of running around today.
Business.
Oh, no, not business this time.
What is it?
Well, I've been doing a little private spade work, that's all.
On what?
Now, you ask altogether too many questions.
Well, of course I do. If I'm going to be a successful wife, I better start practicing.
Now, you better go upstairs and put on a sweater. It might be a little chilly out by the ocean.
Are we going to take a drive along the shore?
Well, I thought we'd go take a look at the house. We've never seen it in the daytime, you know.
Wonderful. I'll be with you in just a minute.
Where are you going?
Oh, I want to put this back in my room.
Oh, what is it?
It's my music box. You've seen it before, don't you remember?
Yes, that's the one Barnabas gave you.
You sound like a jealous fiancé.
You've got to be kidding.
No, I can imagine that a lot of men have envied Barnabas for his charm.
Well, not me, I assure you. Barnabas and I are in two separate worlds.
Well, anyway, it's a lovely present. But, do you know, there's been something strange about it lately.
Strange.
I don't know. It's almost as though it had a mind of its own.
A mind of its own. Vicky, will you please stop being so mysterious?
Oh, Burke, you take everything I say so literally.
Well, that's another habit I developed in business. Now, all I see there is a plain, ordinary, everyday music box with no mind at all, let alone one of its own.
Well, this plain, ordinary, everyday music box. Well, it's been acting in a funny way lately.
A funny way.
Yes. I close it when I go to sleep. And then, on several occasions, in the morning when I wake up, it's playing. It happened again today.
I see. Would you mind playing it for me now?
Why?
Oh, I'd just like to hear it, that's all.
All right.
A light, almost playful kind of music.
What?
Huh? Oh, nothing. I wonder why Barnabas gave you that thing.
Well, I suppose because he's a very thoughtful man.
Yes. Yes, a very thoughtful man indeed.
Now, what's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. Come on, let's get going.
You know, you do sound as though you are jealous.
Well, you're wrong. I just happen to have more than my share of curiosity, that's all.
About what?
about the light, tinkling sounds of a plain, ordinary, everyday music box.
Dark Shadows is a Dan Curtis production.